Friends, fellow travelers in the grand human experience. A question. Have you ever found yourself in a moment brimming with unspoken words? Perhaps a truth so potent it felt too heavy to release, or a feeling so delicate you feared it might shatter if spoken too soon. Or perhaps you've witnessed the opposite, words flung like stones, leaving invisible wounds, or words spoken so beautifully, so perfectly timed, they felt like a balm to the soul, a key unlocking a hidden door within you. We live in a world saturated with communication, an endless torrent of information, opinions, and chatter. Yet, how often do we truly connect? How often do we pause, listen deeply, and speak from the very core of our being? Today, I want to share with you a perspective, a language, if you will, that helps us understand these intricate dynamics of human expression. It's a framework called human design. Now, think of human design not as a rigid box that defines you, but as a sophisticated map, a descriptive language for the energies that animate our lives. It's a tool, sure, it's fallible, like all tools, but immensely useful for illuminating our lifelong, and I believe, eternal journey. It helps us see the energies and processes within us, not the fixed traits. And within this map, there is a particular signpost, a specific energy that I believe holds the profound wisdom for our noisy age. It's an energy often misunderstood, sometimes even undervalued. It's known as simply Gate 12. Well, some call it the Gate of Caution, the ancient Chinese I Ching, from the ancient Book of Changes, from which human design draws deep inspiration. It calls it Standstill. Now, standstill, caution, sounds a bit unexciting, doesn't it? Perhaps even a little restrictive in a world that often celebrates the loud, the fast, the constantly expressive. But I invite you today, for the next 20 minutes or so, to journey with me into the heart of Gate 12. And I hope, in the spirit of the gate itself, with carefully chosen words and a reverence for timing, that we can uncover its quiet power, its unexpected beauty, and its deep, resonant truth. My aim is that you leave here not just understanding it, but perhaps even falling a little bit in love with its profound wisdom. For Gate 12 at its core is about the cautious, deliberate, and pure expression of authentic feeling and thoughts. Let me repeat that. At its core, it's about the cautious, deliberate, and pure expression of our authentic feelings and thoughts. It's the energy that urges us to pause, to check in with our emotional clarity before we speak. Okay, imagine this energy is like a finely tuned instrument. It doesn't play every note all the time. It waits, it listens, it attunes itself to the inner melody, to the truth of the moment, and when it finally sounds, its notes ring with integrity, with depth, and an authenticity that can move mountains, or perhaps more importantly, move hearts. This gate resides in what the human design calls the throat center, the hub of our communication and our manifestation. Gate 12's specific voice here is something like, I know I could try if I feel like it. Or perhaps more precisely, I will express myself when I'm truly in the mood, when my inner emotional landscape aligns with the outer moment. It's not about defiance or discernment. It's an energy that understands that sometimes the most powerful statement is silence, that waiting for the right moment, the kairos moment. It can transform a simple utterance into a profound revelation. This is an individual energy. It's not about conforming to the tribe or following logical arguments like other circuits inside of ourself. It's about bringing forth something uniquely personal, a raw feeling, a poetic insight, a heartfelt truth. It can be intense, creative, and sometimes even touched with a beautiful melancholy, as individual energy often is. And like all energies, its expression isn't fixed. Think of it like having sliders for intensity, frequency, and quality. The intensity of gate 12 might be a quiet hesitation or a profound stillness, while its frequency might mean it's a dominant part of someone's daily experience. It happens more often. Or a more subtle influence. And the quality of its expression. That's where the real journey lies. A spectrum we'll explore together. Now, gate 12 energy rarely acts alone. In the elegant dance of energies that is our human design chart, it has a profound partner, known simply as gate 22, found in the solar plexus. Well, that's our emotional center. Gate 22 is the energy of, we call it grace or social openness. It's emotional waves and moods. Okay. When these two gates connect, they form the channel of what we call openness. That's, again, 12 to 22. This is where the cautious voice of gate 12 receives its emotional fuel, its cue from gate 22's emotional mood. Imagine gate 12 is a masterful poet and gate 22 as the muse, whispering inspirations on the tides of feeling. When the channel is defined, as they would say in human design, the connection is consistent. These are individuals who can express their feelings with remarkable eloquence and authenticity, often with a social charm and artistic flair that can captivate an audience. Think of the moody musician, the passionate storyteller, the artist who pours their soul into their work. But this expression is utterly dependent on that inner emotional wave. When the mood is high, inviting, and the words flow like a river, full of passion, sometimes even glamour, well, they can light up a room. But when the mood is low, introspective, gate 12 pulls up the drawbridge, silence descends. And this is not a flaw. It's the natural rhythm of this energy. For those who live with this defined channel, or for those who love them, understanding and honoring this ebb and flow is key. It's permission to be fully expressive when the spirit moves and fully withdrawn when it doesn't, without guilt or apology. What if you have gate 12, you only have gate 12? We call that perhaps a hanging gate, waiting for that connection. You might find yourself surprisingly eloquent or deeply emotional around certain people. Those who carry gate 22, perhaps, and their presence, your gate 12 awakens. The circuit completes, and your cautious voice finds its passionate song. These connections can feel electrifying, deeply attractive, and compelling, and completing an energy to the other. Can it be that it is the same, the opposite way, from 22 without gate 12 defined? The intricate dance reminds us that communication is often a relational act, an interplay of energies seeking resonance. And it points to the fundamental principle of human design. We all have access to every energy, whether it's consistently defined in us or we experience through others in the world around us. We are all, in a sense, developing a relationship with each of these 64 gates, these 64 universal themes. Now, let's delve into the spectrum of quality I mentioned previously. How does the energy of Gate 12 actually manifest in our lives? Here we can draw wisdom from the Gene Keys, a beautiful poetic extension of human design, which describes a journey from shadow to gift to the highest expression. The shadow of Gate 12 is called simply vanity. Now, this isn't just about preening in front of a mirror. It's a deeper, more insidious vanity. The ego's illusion of separateness, born of fear. It's the feeling of being so unique, so misunderstood, that you withdraw into a fortress of self-absorption. As Richard Rudd, the founder of the Gene Keys, describes it, vanity is the illusion of the ego, the belief that we are separate and more important than others. This shadow can manifest in two ways, at least. First, as a withdrawing silence rooted in the fear of rejection or a subtle superiority. They could say, no one truly understands me anyway, so why bother speaking? Or, my truth is too precious for the world. This isn't wise caution, it's prideful isolation. The individual remains in a standstill. Remember that word? Standstill. Yes, but it's stagnant and lonely. The other side of vanity's coin is speaking with drama or pretense instead of silence. There's a performance. Words are used not to connect, but to gain attention, to appear special, to prop up a fragile ego. There might be an air of snobbery, a refined taste used to subtly belittle others. As one source noted, this can be holding others to unrealistic standards, a superiority complex. In both cases, the core is authenticity and a painful sense of separation. As Simon and Garfunkel so hauntingly sang, in a world of people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. A silence born not of wisdom, but of fear and disconnection. But this isn't the end of the story. Through awareness, through courage to be vulnerable, we can transmute this shadow. We can elevate the frequency of this energy, and Gate 12 blossoms into its gift, which is called discrimination. Discrimination, in its highest sense, is not prejudice. It is true discriminant, the intuitive ability to distinguish the genuine from the false, the essential from the trivial. It's knowing when to speak, what to speak, and whom to share one's precious inner world. It's the wisdom to hold your tongue, not from fear, but from respect. Respect for your own truth, and respect for the listener's readiness to receive it. There is a beautiful poem by Emily Dickinson that resonates deeply. Tell all the truth, but tell its slant. Success and circuit lies, too bright for our infirm delight, the truth superb surprise. As lighting to the children eased with explanation kind, the truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind. Tell it slant. What profound wisdom. This is Gate 12's gift in action. It's tact, empathy, emotional intelligence. It's the art of timing. It's the relationship with Gate 22. The person operating from this gift understands that their words carry weight. They use their voice not to bolster ego, but to connect, to uplift, to edify. Their silence is no longer a retreat, but a patient, conscious pause. Their speech, when it comes, is heartfelt and has impact. This isn't about being dishonest. It's about delivering truth with grace. The grace found in Gate 22, perhaps. This is the voice of the trusted confidant, the wise counselor, the thoughtful leader who speaks sparingly but profoundly. This is the artist who crafts their words with such care that they touch the universal soul. Okay, and what is the highest potential of this energy? If we follow the path of the authentic discrimination expression, then Gate 12 unfolds to its highest expression, which is purity. Purity. Imagine a heart so clear, so free of ego, that one's words become a direct conduit for the divine. This is the communication as an act of pure love, pure truth. The caution is no longer a conscious effort, but an innate innocence. One speaks or remains silent in perfect accord with a higher will. As Richard Rudd beautifully puts it, with vanity, your lower self falls in love with itself. And with purity, the higher self falls in love with itself. Purity is where the divine falls in love with you. And I would add, and you with the divine. Here we touch upon the universal archetype, what human design refers to as the divine pattern. For those of us who find resonance in the teachings of Jesus Christ, well, he stands as the ultimate embodiment of this purity. He is the Word made flesh. His every utterance, his every silence, was a perfect expression of divine love and truth. Think of his profound parables, his gentle blessings, his courageous challenges to hypocrisy, and even his potent silence before his accusers. This is purity in expression, untainted by ego, perfectly timed, utterly transformed. While such perfection may seem a distant star, Gate 12's highest expression invites us to orient ourselves towards it. It reminds us that at our core we are beings of light, capable of reflecting that higher light in our words and in our actions. To speak by the Spirit, as some traditions would call it, is to touch this purity. It's when our words flow from a place beyond our limited self, bringing healing, bringing in insight, and bringing in connection. It is, in essence, letting love speak through us. So, how does this play out in our everyday lives, in our relationships? Gate 12 often manifests it as a yearning for depth and authenticity. Small talk can often feel draining. These individuals seek genuine connection, preferring one heartfelt conversation to a dozen superficial ones. They are often incredible listeners. Their natural caution in speaking, creating space for others to be heard. If you have a Gate 12 defined loved one, cherish their thoughtful pauses. Don't mistake their need for processing time as disinterest. It's their way of honoring the sanctity of communication. And When they do open up, it's often a gift of profound vulnerability and trust. In creativity and career, this energy can fuel incredible artistry. Writers, poets, musicians, counselors, thoughtful leaders. These are roles where Gate 12 can shine. They thrive where their words, carefully chosen and deeply felt, can make a real impact. They are often the ones who bring a discerning eye, a call for quality, and unwavering commitment to integrity and their work. The wisdom of Gate 12 finds echoes in many sacred texts across traditions. The book of James in the Christian Bible advises, "Be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." This isn't about suppression, but about wise governance of our powerful communicative faculty. The book of Proverbs reminds us, "A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver." Proverbs 25. Such beauty and value arise from careful timing and heartfelt intent. Jesus himself taught the principle of discernment. He said, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye pearls before swine." Matthew 7. Urging us to be mindful of the readiness of our audience for a sacred, precious truth. These ancient insights affirm that Gate 12's core theme is not mere a personality quirk, but a timeless spiritual discipline. We all have a relationship with this energy. Whether Gate 12 is consistently defined in our human design chart or not, we all face moments where we must choose to speak or to remain silent, to be superficial or to be authentic, to react from ego or to respond from a place of deeper wisdom. Human design teaches that our, quote, definition, the gates consistently are active in us, points to our inherent energetic style, our nature. But nurture, our upbringing, experiences, and choices, and our relationship with the divine and others, profoundly shapes the quality of how we express these energies. We are all on the journey of learning to navigate these energies with increasing grace. This is where our agency comes in. A core tenet of the human experience is agency. We are not fated to remain stuck in the shadow of vanity. We can choose. We can choose to cultivate discrimination, the healthy kind. We can aspire to purity. Each time we pause, reflect, and choose our words discriminately, with intention and love, we are taking a step on that path. Consider your own life. Where can you bring a little more of Gate 12's wisdom? Perhaps it's pausing before you hit send on that reactive email. Perhaps it's truly listening in a conversation instead of just waiting for your turn to speak. Perhaps it's finding the courage to voice a heartfelt truth kindly and at the right moment, even if it feels vulnerable. Perhaps it's honoring your own need for silence and reflection without apology. Imagine for a moment this very talk. It has been, in its own way, an attempt to honor Gate 12, to choose words with care, to respect your time and intelligence, sure, and to share something I believe is of value, hoping it resonates not just in your minds, but also in your hearts. It's an offering. The ultimate lesson of Gate 12, I believe, is this: our words create worlds. The world of our relationship, the world of our inner peace, and collectively, the world we all inhabit. This gate invites us to become conscious creators, wielding the power of our voice, our silence, with wisdom, courage, and profound love. It's about finding that still point within the storm of life, that quiet sanctuary where our truest voice resides. And from that place of stillness, of authenticity, of connection to something larger than ourselves, perhaps a connection to the divine, to heavenly parentage, to that pure, loving consciousness that also Christ so perfectly exemplified, we can then speak. And when we do, our words will not be mere noise. They will be bridges. They will be light. They will be, in our own humble way, a reflection of the original word that spoke all of creation into being. Wow. Thank you for allowing me to share this cautious yet hopeful voice with you today. May we all learn to speak and to listen from that space, sacred space within. Thank you, and good night.